Hello, my name is Kezia. I'm a counseling psychologist. Today I'm here to talk about exam anxiety. How many of you here are anxious about your exam? How many of you here worry about your exam, about your marks? Do you all worry about your exams? I'm sure most of you sitting here are either in your 12th or 10th standard or even 11th, right? Are you all anxious? Do you have anxiety when you study, or do you have anxiety when you write your exam? If yes, today I'm going to talk about exam anxiety. I'm going to talk about how to cope with exam anxiety. So now let's look at the first slide. Is this picture familiar to you? Can you connect to this picture? So it says, I don't remember anything. I just studied this, but I forgot. Oh wait, do I even remember? I think I forgot. Is this picture familiar to all of you? Is it yes? Right. So now let's look at, I'm sure most of you might have experienced this somewhere during your exams. It doesn't have to be board exam, but somewhere when you write your model exam or your internals, you would have experienced this, right? So this is exam anxiety. So now let's quickly look into what is anxiety. What are the symptoms that you might experience when you feel anxiety? So now let's look at this PPT. So there are three different types of anxiety we're looking at. One, we're looking at the cognitive symptoms, we're looking at the emotional symptoms, and the physical symptoms. So now, cognitive symptoms. What are the cognitive symptoms you can experience? You can experience difficulty in concentrating, negative thinking as in, I might fail. What if I forget? What if my parents yell at me if I score less mark? What if my teacher says something about me? So this negative thinking is common, right, during your exam. What if I forget everything? What if I blank out, right? How many of you have experienced this? Think about it. Do you experience these negative thinking? How many of us compare ourselves to others? Wait, my friend is better than me. My friend scores better than me. I'm not good enough. Everyone in my class scores better than me, right? These are the cognitive symptoms you can experience. Racing thoughts, so many thoughts coming into your mind. You're not able to focus, you're not able to concentrate, blanking out. You see the question paper, you would have studied the answer, but somewhere down the lane you would have forgotten. You're not able to remember or recollect what you've studied. Overthinking, I will forget, wouldn't even be true, but you overthink, if I fail, there's no future, I'm gonna feel hopeless, nobody would love me, right? So these are the cognitive symptoms you can experience. You can also experience emotional symptoms. So I think the emotional symptoms is the first symptoms we would experience when we feel anxious. The fear, anger, guilt, feeling helpless, shame, disappointment, right? When we feel these emotional symptoms, we can either run off or fight. So when we want to run off, we generally feel a lot of anxiety would be there, lot of fear, shame, worrying. Now imagine you're not able to run away, then we tend to fight. So that's where the anger comes in. That's where we would feel shameful or disappointed. So along with these emotional symptoms, you can also experience physical symptoms like nausea. How many of you felt like nauseous, like feeling like vomiting or just uneasiness? Racing heartbeat? Is that common? Have you all experienced that? Excessive sweating? Your hands sweating, your palms sweating. Shortness of breath? Headache? Headache before the exam or headache while you're studying. Dizziness, dryness of mouth, muscle tension. How many of you experience muscle tension? Your muscles tightening on your chest or muscle tightening on your head, on the hands. How many of you have experienced this? Yes, if you have experienced this, these are few common symptoms of anxiety. So now, see, it's okay to feel anxious, right? All of us need to feel anxious at some point or the other. Now, what if we don't feel anxious at all? We might not study. We might not, we wouldn't study at all. So some sort of anxiety is normal. Some sort of anxiety should be there. Now, when do we look at it as exam anxiety? We look at it as exam anxiety when you're not able to function, when you're not able to study, or when you're not able to concentrate. You've studied, but when you blank out, that's when we're looking at it as a problem. When you sit in the exam hall, you take 10-20 minutes to just relax and then write, that's when we're looking at it as a problem. because you're wasting 10-20 minutes of just relaxing, calming down, but you're not able to write. So that's when we're looking at it as a problem. So now, what do you think are the causes of exam anxiety? What leads to this exam anxiety? One, we're looking at fear of failure. Fear of failure as in, if I fail, what will my teacher tell about me? What if my teacher talks something bad about me in front of my whole class? What if my parents stop loving me, right? Fear you won't live up to the expectation of your parents. Fear you won't live up to the expectation of your cousins or teachers, school. Your school has high expectation on you. Sometimes if you are on scholarship, then you need to score good marks to get scholarship. That can add extra anxiety, extra pressure for you. Need for achievement. I need to score, like the scholarship I was talking about. I need to score good marks. Only then I'll get a scholarship. I need to score good marks. Only then I can go abroad. Only then I can, pay my loans. So there's need for achievement. Or the need that, I need to get good marks so I can go abroad. I can build a house. I can get a good job and provide for my family. So the need for the achievement. Right? So when you have a lot of pressure, that can add anxiety. Fearing loss of affection. Do you fear that if I don't score good marks, my parents will stop loving me? Or my teachers will stop loving me? Or will my friends stop loving me? Do you fear that? Then you need to work on it. Yes? We also mark our grade to our personal growth. If I score 70%, I'm this much worth it. If I score 20%, I'm this much worth it. If I score 100 or 90%, I'm this much worth it. So you compare your grades to your personal growth. Feeling helpless. Negative self-talk as in saying things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it. The more you say bad things about yourself, you're feeding that to your brain. So our brain is like a sponge. Whatever you tell your brain, it will instill that. It will absorb like a sponge. So if you tell your brain that you cannot do this, your brain will absorb that. But if you tell your brain that I can do this, I can get good marks, my parents will love me, your brain will absorb that. So if you are able to connect with any of these causes, I would suggest you all to think about and see if this is affecting you. And if so, I would suggest you all to work on yourself. So now let's also quickly look into how to alleviate exam anxiety. Let's look into before an exam what can we do, during your exam what you can do, and after your exam. So now, before your exam, very very importantly, you need to be aware of your negative self-talk. Be aware of the talk that you tell yourself, things that you tell yourself, right? Instead of the negative self-talk, focus on telling positive things about yourself. Instead of saying, I will not remember anything, say things like, I will remember, I can do it. This is simple. When you start saying positive things about yourself, the brain will absorb that. And very importantly, enjoy the process of studying. Do not study for your parents, do not study for your teachers, do not study for your marks. Enjoy the process of studying. Do not study for the marks, but instead enjoy the process. Study for learning more things. Study for gaining knowledge and instead of marks. When you shift the focus into learning, studying for learning or gaining more knowledge, you would enjoy studying. You'll study more and you will be able to remember because you've studied with full concentration and you've enjoyed it. So you will not forget it. But instead, if you study for marks, you might. That's adding anxiety. Like how our parents and grandparents tell us, right? You need to sleep well, eat well, and that's very important. I'm sure all of us are aware that our mind and body is connected. If our mind is stressed, our body can also be stressed. And if our body is stressed, our mind can also be stressed. So, very importantly that if you want your mind to function better, if you want to concentrate, or if you want to avoid blanking out, you need to sleep. Sleep is very, very important. Second, after sleep, we also need to look at food. How many of you skip meals or skip your breakfast or lunch or your dinner, right? If you do that, avoid as much as you can. Try to eat healthy. Try to eat good healthy food and avoid munching on junk or avoid munching on any unhealthy food. Eat healthy because your mind and body is connected. Only if your body gets good food, good nourishment, only then your brain or you'll be able to think better, you'll be able to concentrate better. Similarly, only if you sleep properly, only if your body gets the proper rest, your mind will also function better. If you have exam anxiety, try to arrive early at the exam. Don't arrive like 5 minutes or like 10 minutes before your exam. Try to arrive early, as early as possible, because you need to relax. The body needs to relax. So get used to the exam setting, get used to the exam hall. Come early, just sit down, relax, breathe, and then write the exam. So now during the exam, what can we do, right? So now, very importantly, set up your space. Make sure you have all the materials like your hall ticket, your pencil, pen, eraser, everything, all the exam materials that you have. Check the before night. Also, reduce distractions. I don't know how many of you do this. Do you talk to your friends do you discuss the answer before the exam? Do you do that? If yes, then you need to avoid it, because what happens is that, your friend might studied something, another question, or they might remember, they might know the answer a little more better than you. And when you discuss the answers, or when you learn together right before the exam, can add anxiety. You might think like, my friend knows better than me, or she's learned better. Or what if, she's learned something extra and you've not learned it. That can add anxiety. So reduce distraction as much as possible. Again, relax. Notice yourself, notice your body, notice your breathing. Relax. If you feel that you're extremely anxious, just relax. You can breathe, you can just keep breathing, you can inhale, exhale, very, very importantly. Keep inhaling, but keep breathing. That's so important. The more you breathe, you're telling your body, your brain is telling your body that you're calm, that you're safe. You can even practice mindfulness. Look at 5 things that you can see around yourself. Keep it like, if it's blue color, look at 5 things that you can see that is in blue color. 4 things that you can hear, any sound. So you can just close your eyes, just listen to the 4 things that you can hear. 3 things that you can smell. It can be any smell. So just close your eyes, just observe the 3 things that you can smell. 2 things that you can feel in the body. It can be anything. Just close your eyes and just observe the sensation that is in your body. It can be your clothes touching your skin, or if you're sitting on the chair, observe how the skin is touching the chair. So just observe. So when you practice mindfulness, you are controlling the thought instead of your thoughts controlling you. Yes? And breathe. Do not forget to breathe. Now, after the exam, what can we do? Let's look at cognitive reframing. After the exam, let's stop looking at, saying, like, change the thoughts. Instead of saying, oh no, I'm gonna fail, oh no, I don't remember, I did really bad, oh no, my parents are gonna hate me after this. Let's change the thinking, right? It's okay, this is just one exam, I can probably do well the next exam. There's no point in worrying now, right? You've not even got the exam results, but there's no point in worrying till you get the results. So change your thinking. Look at positive thoughts. No, it's okay, my parents will still love me. It's okay, my friends will still be there for me. It's okay, my school will still support me. I'm good, I'm capable, I'm worth it. So change your cognitive. Change your cognitive patterns. If you feel like you have a lot of negative thoughts, if you feel like you're being very critical to yourself, kindly change it. Change it into more positive thoughts. If you're telling yourself that I'm not good enough, start telling yourself, I am good enough, I can do it, all is well. My parents will still love me, my teachers will still love me, I will still be accepted no matter what grades I get, no matter what marks I score. So, your marks is not everything, there's more to it. There's more to life, it's just not the marks. Very importantly, these anxieties are either about the future or about the past. It's not about the present. And these worries that we have, worry about failure, worry about loss of affection, negative self-talk, all of these worries, these causes of anxiety are either about the future or about the past. So very, very importantly, we need to live in the present. Observe what is happening in the present. Observe what is happening in the body, within yourself. Do not worry about the past or the future, because the future have its own worries. So live in the present. So I think we've come to an end. I'll quickly recap as to what all you can do to cope with your anxiety. Firstly, breathe. Do not forget to breathe. If you feel extremely anxious, keep moving your body. You can go for a walk. You can go drink a hot coffee or tea or like hot water, anything. Like go to the balcony, be present, be mindful, relax, be in the present, not in the future or in the past. Be mindful. The more you move your body tells you that you're safe. So your anxiety does not increase, right? And also avoid. Sleep well, eat well, arrive early for the exam. Enjoy the process of studying instead of studying for the marks. Be aware of the negative self-talk. Do not discuss your answers or do not discuss before the exam and after the exam. Do not discuss the questions and answers with your friends. Avoid as much as you can. Keep breathing again. Relax your muscles. Relax your mind and be kind to yourself. Yes, thank you.